SpiderPunk, SpiderPunk does whatever SpiderPunk does. Can he swing from a web? Yes, he can. He's a punk. Look out. Here comes the SpiderPunk. And that's what we're talking about today. So SpiderPunk, we have Red Star Orb openings to do for him. We're going to be doing my main account. We're going to be doing my baby account. We're not going to be doing my partner's account. I'm actually, I think I'm on the down on that account. I think I really need to claw back some time myself. I know I've talked at length about screen time and my own personal challenges with screen time, and I think that's one of the things that I need to do. So I'm still going to be using my baby account for just now, and even then I think that account slowly might be, maybe not going away, but I'm going to be doing a little bit less. So we're going to be focusing on those two accounts. I want to talk about how good SpiderPunk actually is and whether or not you actually need him. You may have seen the title of the video, and honestly, I think this is a very awkward spot for him because we have so many web warriors coming at us hard and fast with, the Ghost Spider Blitz, the Scarlet Spider event, and now the SpiderPunk event coming next week and next Friday. I think we need to have an actual honest conversation about whether or not we need to have him or not on this team. So without further ado, let's get this show started. Alright everyone, and here we are in the Red Star section of the store here for SpiderPunk. I have a lot of Red Star Orbs. Now, I don't know if this is just, it's probably because I've been quite lucky. We have 104 regular Red Star Orbs, but we also have 10 Elite 4 Orbs and an Elite 6. Now, the Elite 6 I've been saving up for the next Legendary Event character, so that's not going to happen right now. But we do have plenty of Elite 4s that we can open for this. I don't think at this point I'm actually wanting to spend any Elite 5s. So if I get a 4 for SpiderPunk out of these orbs, I would be more than happy to do so. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do my 50 times 4 coring, I think, and this is a little bit ahead of one of my videos that I'll be putting out later on this week, just before his event. But there's some things, and we're gonna talk about this later on in the video, that I don't think he's the most important member of the Web Warriors. But anyways, let's get started on some of these Red Star pulls here and see, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll get a 5 out of a 4 or something like that. So let's get started here with our first pull. And we got a 5 Red Skull. And that actually happened to be a dupe. That's a little bit unfortunate. That gives me 1,750 Elite 5 credits and gets me almost to another Elite 5. Let's get one more going. Wow, another 5. My luck seems to be pretty high. I almost wonder if I open a 5, am I going to get I might open 1. I'll open 1. Just because I got 2 5s in a row, I'm like, can we keep this going? Would I get a 6 out of a 5? That would be really nice. Okay, so we'll do this one time, but then otherwise, we're going to go back. Ah, damn it, no gold. Oh, but we got what we came for, I guess. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. That's not exactly what I wanted, or I didn't care if I got a 5, but hey, that's great too. I might actually get the 5 yellow for this character, but I'm not buying any offers for him, so that's that. Let's go see what my luck is like on some of my other accounts. Alright, round 2 with the Red Star Orb. So here we are on my baby account here, and we have a little bit less resources, I think, as you would imagine, for a lower account. I am level 79 here. We do have 55 Red Star Orbs. We do have a handful of other orbs. We have an Elite 4, 2 Elite 4s, we have 4 Elite 5s. But, I mean, I'll probably do a 50 times 4 coring, so let's just do what we did last time, I guess. I don't want to use all of these Elite 5s, though, so I think I'll do 2. And then I'll maybe do some Elite 4s, I guess, after that. So let's get started here. I don't want to use too many of my big ones, because I'd like to save for maybe some more reasonably meta characters beyond just Web Warriors, I guess. So let's get this started here. That's 5. Sharon Carter, oh, that's an upgrade. Okay, that's good. That's good, because I'm using Secret Avengers quite a bit right now, so yeah, that's nice. I'll take that. Let's do one more. That's another 5. And a Hand Sentry, yikes. Big upgrade, but, we don't really use Hand Sentry, so that's all for that. We're going to go backwards to the 4s, though. If we can get a 4 or 5, I'd be happy with that. 4 Hella? That's a dupe. Come on, something good, something good. No, Merc Soldier. And a dupe. You know what? Screw it. Let's just do one more 5 for the road. And otherwise, we'll need to find another way to him if not. Oh, hey! 2 accounts in a row with an Elite 5. Wow, or yeah, a 5 red star pull for both of my accounts. That's really, really nice. So yeah, that's really, really good, and I can't be happier. So 2 5 red stars for SpiderPunk. Interestingly, though, I think what we're going to be talking about in the second half of the video is going to be some stuff that might rile up some feathers for some people, because what I might tell you might shock some, may not be a surprise to some, but we'll find out. So let's go on over to msf.gg, where I want to talk more about his kit, some T4s if you are going to build him, and then what I think overall about him as a character. Alright, and so here we are on msf.gg. This is SpiderPunk, and if any of you don't know this resource, this is a really great resource for anything Marvel Strike Force related. It's really good at also showing you the character's kits, especially at different levels, and the gears, and all the stuff that you require to get a character up. All of that stuff, MSF, you know, msf.gg, great resource, so if you haven't used this, do get on that. But I want to talk about his kit first and foremost. So at level 6, and what I'd like about the changes to msf.gg recently is that if you have it at level 6, for example, here that I have now, it actually tells you down below here what the T4 gets. So before we used to have to flip between 6 and 7 and kind of look at the differences, but now it actually tells you what you get when you upgrade it. So now I can put it at 6 and kind of tell you how I feel about the T4s more generally. So SpiderPunk is kind of all about the damage. You can see up above he is a bio brawler. So a lot of the web warriors are brawlers, but yeah, this is another brawler. The only one who isn't really is Ghost Spider, who is a controller, and of course you're going to be unlocking him through his own campaign event, which is going to be coming next Friday using the Rebel tag. We'll be talking about more of that in the week to come. So his basic attack, guitar solo, is just damage. That's really about all it is. Attack primary target for 170% damage. If this character has any web warrior allies, bonus attack for 200. Now this is quite a bit because you are going to be using him with web warriors. You're not going to be using him standalone. So realistically, you're getting 370% damage, and if you upgrade this, the T4, you get 200% and then 300% on the secondary. So it's actually 500% as a basic attack, which is quite a bit for T4s. But he is really just kind of like pure damage, with the exception of a couple of his abilities we'll talk about. His Mosh Pit special. So this is a 4 out of 4 available on turn 1. Attack primary target for 130% damage. Chain to 5 adjacent targets. Now this is an actual chain. This is not a rebound chain. There is a bit of a text mistake in Scarlet Spider's basic that is a rebound chain, not a regular chain. So just to let people know this, counterattacks does break this chain though. In raids, instead attack primary target for 130 plus 30% damage per web warrior ally. So this can get really, really heavy in raids. You know, with the full 4 other web warrior allies, you're looking at 250% damage and then chaining for the same amount of damage as well. So it's pretty hefty. But again, that's kind of all it does. It's just damage. So 2 skills already. Just damage. Now, of course, in raids with the T4s, this damage all goes up as well. So, really more damage is what we're talking about. But his his ultimate amped up. This is where it's a little bit different, but again, a lot of it's still kind of damage. Attack all enemies for 210% damage, plus apply heal block for 2 turns. In raids, if Ghost Spider is an ally, apply trauma for 2 turns to all enemies. Now, this is probably always going to happen, unless for whatever reason you don't have Ghost Spider unlocked. I probably would. Ghost Spider is one of the most important characters on this team, and for that reason we're going to be talking about a few things about SpiderPunk specifically after this. This attack cannot miss, and then if you upgrade to the T4s, you're getting 40% damage to all enemies, and then you get an evade after doing it, so great. His passive, though, this is where you're going to get a lot of damage for the team. So on this character or allied web warrior dodge, apply offense up to that character. So that's pretty important, since a lot of them, even with the 4 web warriors as it is right now, you know, a lot of them do have evades. That's going to trigger this, which is going to trigger a dodge, which is going to give them offense up. On this character or allied web warrior crit, clear heal block on self or a random web warrior ally with heal block. So this is their only real cleanse, and this is kind of a little bit of their downfall. That some of the issues that they have as a team is that they can't really cleanse any negative status effects aside from heal block, and I guess part of that is like you're supposed to just take more turns and therefore it will naturally fall off. But that's why we're gonna talk about that too when we get there, about sort of what I'm running with my web warriors and why SpiderPunk's kit is very, I want to say clunky, but it's very basic. I think, you know, it does a lot of damage and then it does a few extra things, but it's not nearly as as good as some of the other characters on this team. He gains dodge chance and crit, and then in raids he gives everyone else crit chance. Now this is quite important because a lot of their stuff does rely on crit, and you can see that here on Web Warrior crit, it clears heal block and things like that. So that's an additional 30% crit chance if you have the T4s, which is really, really important. And honestly, if you are running a SpiderPunk and you're going to be using him, I think this is probably the most important thing that you can do first, is getting the passive. This is really important. Once you have all the characters together, this will be very important. After that, honestly, I'd probably go with the special just because it adds so much extra damage and you're hitting a lot of different targets. And then after, that's probably your choice between the ultimate and the basic. It's really all down to damage. He's very damage-centric, and that's why, he just doesn't do the same kind of pure damage like some of the other characters that have come out recently. I know it's not fair to compare him to, like, Icarus or anything, but, at least Icarus just blows things up, I don't know if he blows things up in the same way, In terms of gear, well, we're talking about another character that has more Oz formula, so that's not really much of a surprise there. And you can kind of see it here on the side here, that superior Oz formula. So all of this team, with the exception of Ghost Spider, they all require Oz formula, and this is a bit of a problem. So as far as gearing priority goes for this team, I actually think SpiderPunk is the last one that I would consider, and this is a really tricky spot that we're in right now, because there's a lot of characters. The Web Warriors are coming out hard and fast. We have the Ghost Spider Blitz concurrently right now. We have the Scarlet Spider event, which a lot of people have probably already unlocked from like day one of the event, but regardless, all of the Web Warriors are coming out like really within this week here. And as far as the priorities for these characters, I honestly think the SpiderPunk is the last one. There is two things that I do want to say though. Ghost Spider and Scarlet Spider. Oops, I wanted to show at the top. Scarlet Spider, Ghost Spider, both very important characters, and they're both way more important than SpiderPunk is. They are two of the most important members of the Web Warriors. So I think as far as priorities for gearing them, BioGear wise, even Oz formula wise, I would give that to Scarlet Spider. And to be honest, I would actually T14 OG Spider-Man and Miles before I would do SpiderPunk. Personally, while there's a few reasons why you want to have SpiderPunk on the team, namely, and this is why I have their pages open actually here, and I had it to the passive. You can't actually activate their passes without having the full team. So you can see here on Ghost Spider's passive, she says on at the very bottom here, on spawn, if this character has 4 or more Web Warrior allies, generates 2 ability energy for basically the full team, if they're not at full energy. So this is a very easy way to auto with the team, because, if you're manualing, you can probably, line up your ability energy, like, right when you clear a node. But if you're autoing, I don't know, Doom 1 or anything before that, this makes it very easy to have the full Web Warrior team, stick them on auto, and at least on spawn on each of the nodes, you're going to get an extra 2 ability energy regardless of where you ended it. So that kind of helps there. Scarlet Spider also has a thing for his passive that requires the full team here. In raids on spawn, if this character has 4 or more Web Warrior allies, apply offense up for 2 turns and 2 death proof to self and all Web Warrior allies. Now that's great. Spawn offense up, that's pretty good. But that's all you're getting really by these are the two, as far as I'm aware, these are the only 2 parts that actually says 4 or more Web Warrior allies. And it's just that SpiderPunk doesn't have anything in his kit that you really, really need to have. So in the Strike Time video, when they showed the full team together, what they showed was actually doing the Doom Raid Bio Boss. I don't remember if it was Bio 1 or Bio 2, or sorry, Doom 2 or Doom 1. But it was this amped up ultimate that applies trauma in raids to all enemies. Now what this can do, and it applies heal block. So what this can do is this can apply trauma and heal block to, say, Dr. Doom. And if you don't ability block him and he gets his time platform off, then it won't actually heal him or anyone else for that matter, and you'll have the same amount of hit points. Now they'll get all the same turns, and you're going to have to eat the explosion from the bots and all of that. And so whether or not you can afford to take that hit is, depending on your team and how powerful they are. But yeah, that was kind of like the main reason I saw that. I honestly don't think you need him right now in Doom 1 or Doom 2. Maybe this full team as a full Web Warriors team is more designed for like Doom 3 when that eventually comes out. But from the experiences that I'm having, and I want to share with you guys what I'm currently running with my characters, I don't think it's a huge deal. In terms of ISOs for SpiderPunk, we didn't really go over that, but without a doubt, you want to put Raider, because he doesn't really have a really important strike or attack. It's just damage. So I think that you just want to stack up as much crit as you possibly can with this character. And with Scarlet Spider's passive, you're also getting more crit damage. So you want your crit chance to be higher, but Raider also really takes advantage of that extra crit chance and crit damage. You get both of them from Raider. So a very important choice here for SpiderPunk. If you are going to use him, I'm going to share with you guys what I'm using for my Doom Raid Bio team at the moment, because I know this is going to be a little bit different, and I want to share this here. So I call this something called the Young Warriors. So it's a combination of Squirrel Girl here with the Web Warriors. Now, alternatively, I know not everyone has a 7 red Squirrel Girl like I do, but you can use Symbiote Spider-Man here instead of SpiderPunk. So you can probably get away, actually, without even using Squirrel Girl necessarily. I just use this as a more cautious approach, you know, having that extra cleanse. I talked about SpiderPunk and how he helps to cleanse heal block, but you have nobody else on the team that actually cleanses negative status effects, and so that's why I use Squirrel Girl. She has good synergy with Miles, and I actually like that extra, you know, the defense up that she can give to Miles, and she gives drain to Miles as well. And Miles actually gets extra health, I think 20% extra max HP because of Squirrel Girl on the team. That being said, if you were to take away my power, because my Squirrel Girl is 186k, I'm running Doom 2.0, and I can clear every single node in there right now. If you were to take that power away, because it's pretty high compared to my other characters, you know, you're looking at probably, if I were to throw my Symbiote Spider-Man in there, it'd probably be like a 630k team. And you know, I'm actually clearing this right now with, like, I was doing this with level 75 Ghost Spider and level 75 Scarlet Spider. One of the most important things, though, is gear tier 14 on this team, because I think that at least if you're running Doom Raid 2, this is going to be really important. If you're running Doom Raid 1, you can probably get away with lower than gear tier 14, but for Doom 2, I would really recommend tier 14 as a baseline. And like I said, a lot of these characters do require Oz formula, and so that kind of leads me to believe that I don't think that SpiderPunk is one of the most necessary characters on this team. I actually don't think you even need him at all. I think that you can perfectly get by whether or not you're using Squirrel Girl. You know, that doesn't matter too much. I'm using her. Not everyone needs to. You can replace with Anti-Venom or Symbiote Spider-Man, and that'll probably work just fine too. Symbiote Spider-Man, you can see in my other iteration up here that I was trying to use, and this also worked as well. You know, Symbiote Spider-Man does, you know, include that extra max HP for Hero Spider-Verse characters, and allows you to heal a little bit per negative status effects. So there are other ways that you can heal with this team without using SpiderPunk or anything that his kit has to offer. The real issue here is, not only are they all bio, of course, but 4 out of 5 of them, including SpiderPunk, are Oz formula. And so this makes it really tricky in terms of who you want to gear first for the team. So for me personally, I think without a doubt you want to spend your time gearing up Ghost Spider and Scarlet Spider, but because that OG Spider-Man and Miles have been around for a while, and very likely you either have 7-star or are able to get 7-star, that I think that the gearing priority for them should be a little bit higher as well. So that's why I think that they're actually almost more important than Spider, and they are, I think, more important than SpiderPunk. I don't think that you can get away with this team without using at least OG Spider-Man, and honestly, you probably want to have Miles too because of that synergy with Ghost Spider for the blinds and some other things. So this is how I would imagine my Doom Raid 2 team. This is what I'm going to be using for the foreseeable future. I may slowly build SpiderPunk, but part of my problem is the Oz formula. I do want to get these guys up to gear tier 15 before I get SpiderPunk up to even gear tier 14. I don't think I really need him at this point, and so I'm going to put him on the back bench. I'm not going to say I'm not going to use him. It's just that he's not the biggest priority, and soon we're going to be moving towards another patch, and I'm just not sure if I have the resources to kind of include him in there right now when we're moving towards possibly a pretty big meta patch maybe. So that, and I still have Star-Lord T'Challa. So as far as gear and overall resources and gold, you know, like I think I really need to be careful about how much I'm spending on this team. It is without a doubt a really great team, a really fun team, but I think that you should maybe think twice, depending on how much resources you have, of whether or not SpiderPunk is the character for you. So let me know if any of this helped. If you need any clarity, feel free to post in the comments down below, and of course, until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.